That's it. That is my last order of the year. We are officially shut down for the season. There is still 4 hours, give or take, of daylight left. I'm going to start ripping everything out and getting ready for fall planting. We are still in the midst of a crazy drought, so I've been putting a lot of this off because the ground is rock hard, but we're finally getting some rain in 3 days' time, and it looks like once it starts raining, it's not gonna stop. There is a week solid worth of rain, and while we so desperately need it, I don't really wanna be out working in the yard when it's cold and wet. So we're gonna power through the dry ground and see if we can get everything cleared off today. Fall plant tomorrow. I also have 3,000 tulips sitting in my living room that need to get in the ground before then too. So I guess I better get to work. We're gonna start with the upper garden because it needs the most work. Now, if you watched my garden tour, I filmed that yesterday, so not much has changed. But if we leave the rows that are still full of beautiful flowers and look at the ones that are empty, those are going to take a little bit of time. So I think I'm going to start on this corner and I'm going to work my way over. You want to know what kind of soil we have? Rocks. We have rocks. So what I hope to get done today and tomorrow is to be able to completely clear this garden, weed it, maybe shape the beds a little bit because it's settled quite a bit since I got it set up. I need to top up each bed with a good amount of compost, manure, maybe a nice mix of the two. I may put straw in the pathways this fall, and if I do that, I'm going to try to tarp over the top, maybe get a silage tarp to cover the whole garden for the winter. That would be ideal. I'm just not sure I have the time. Well, I'm an hour in, so this doesn't bode well. I've done 3 rows, but the first 2 were mostly weeds. Ripping out large crops is actually way faster than doing a lot of small weeding. Thank you. I'm looking for my Dutch hoe, but I can't find it anywhere. I think I might have left it in the greenhouse, so I need to go find that to deal with the little stuff. And then hopefully the next couple of rows are gonna go faster. All right, 3 rows done, that's not too bad. Oh, this next one's gonna be a little bit painful. This status has been so amazing. It's a shame to rip it out, but we don't have enough daylight really for that to bloom. We're likely gonna get a frost before we have any chance of that happening. So, it's gotta go. Sorry. That is one plant. There it is, all cleared out, and it only took me 3 hours. I was hoping to get it done in under 2, but that's fine. It's not dark yet, so I'm gonna go do a little bit of the lower garden. I also need to go and finish editing that video I shot yesterday because I really want to get that out tonight. All right. I was gonna finish up with this ageratum and the status. Zinnias here on this side too. These 3 rows are gonna be not status. There's some sunflowers over there that also got munched down by the deer. These 3 rows were last on my list to be cleared, but it is getting pretty dark. I'm starving. And really, I'm pretty pleased with what I got done today. So, it is Sunday evening on Canadian Thanksgiving weekend, and I know a lot of Canadians eat their dinner on Sunday night. I am choosing to pull weeds instead, but I have a turkey pot pie and cranberry sauce in the kitchen that I'm gonna go now cook. maybe with some wine. See you tomorrow. Can't forget to close the greenhouse. We found a little self-seeded dill out in the garden, so that is coming in with me. Going to be part of my breakfast tomorrow. I have been out here working all morning getting all the prep work done. I finished ripping out everything out of that lower bed. I cut back the feverfew, and we now have 6 in-ground rows and 3 raised beds that are cleared and ready to go. I even spent an hour lugging water from my rain barrels, and I emptied 4 watering cans on every row and every raised bed. The last thing I need to do is top up the soil on the in-ground rows and a little bit on the raised beds. So I have to mix some manure in with some soil and lug that over, and hopefully that won't take me too long. Planting the raised beds is going to go pretty quick, and I only have about an hour and a half left until I have to start teaching at 2 o'clock today. So let's see how much we can get done. So what I was doing with this raised bed was dumping all of the black earth and manure in here, mixing it all up together with the soil that's already there, and then using that to top up all my raised beds. And that's because this is the bed that is going to come out. You can see that it's half rotten already, and we've got to do a lot of landscaping work to this driveway and this wood chip area. Not sure if we're going to keep all of the wood chips, we'll see, but this is going to get a lot of work next year. That is so incredibly satisfying, isn't it? And I think this is where I have to admit that I've officially run out of time. I have to teach in a half an hour, and I am absolutely filthy. So I'm going to clean up and put everything away. I think I'm going to save the planting for a couple of days from now. Yes, the forecast is calling for rain starting tomorrow, but honestly not much. I'm just going to have to suck it up and plant in the rain, which really is going to be better for the plants anyway. It's pretty hot and sunny today, and planting seedlings in those conditions is always a bad idea. So I know that's disappointing because I wanted to do a lot of planting in this video, but I ripped out a pile of plants. I cleared almost 2 complete gardens, and that was a whole lot of work. And if I'm lucky, I have another month before it starts to get really, really cold outside anyway. I did make a plan though, so let me show you exactly what is going to happen. I am going to put carnations in these 2 raised beds right here. I am going to put snapdragons in that raised bed. The feverfew is going to stay there. There's actually a random feverfew here that I'm going to move over. And I put a lot of feverfew seed, fresh seed over there, so I'm not going to top that up because I want that to germinate. Over here, we're going to start with larkspur because I've done that before, and it gets beautifully big and tall and then blocks the view of this. It looks really, really nice. I think I'm going to move some of my small peonies right here because these 2 are going to end up turning into a perennial area at some point. More on that later. Then I'm going to do feverfew in this row and snapdragons in this row, which means we will have feverfew and snapdragons out here and feverfew and snapdragons in here. And if you remember me saying from the last video, I honestly at this point can't remember if I've mentioned it in this video, that I have a 30-foot greenhouse that's going to cover these 8 raised beds. So these are going to grow in the spring in a covered greenhouse situation. And I'm really interested to see the difference in bloom time between these undercover and then these are going to be left out to the elements. So on that mildly disappointing note, thank you so much for watching. As usual, please like the video. I'd be very grateful. It really does help. And I will see you next time.